All right. No real reason for this to be a particularly lengthy episode. The Celtics played like absolute garbage from start to finish against a not very good to begin with, and then injury plagued Charlotte Hornets team. And the result is the third worst loss of the season, 104 to 125. Third worst loss in terms of point differential. Again, 104 to 125. The Celtics lose every quarter. Never a good sign. And drop to 32 and 28. And Charlotte is right on their heels now at 29 and 30. Like I said, just a miserable loss from start to finish. A really poor game, poor effort, poor game plan, not a lot of strong individual performances. The team did not play well as together as a team. Charlotte got whatever they wanted. They were able to get to the basket with impunity, hit wide open 3-pointers. The Celtics couldn't finish at the rim. The Hornets clamped down defensively on them. And this is a Charlotte team. They kept saying during the broadcast, it's a very small Hornets team. They don't start anybody taller than 6'7", and the Hornets managed 8 blocks in this game, and the Celtics finished with just 104 points. So I don't know how you managed to only put up 104 and get blocked 8 times by a team whose tallest guy in their starting lineup 6'7". Just again, one of just a miserable game from start to finish, and uh, Leonard, like you're saying in the chat, all the goodwill that they built up over the past week, when you lose like this, it's like almost completely gone because everything they did right on that West Coast road trip and subsequent wins before that and after that, all of that went out the window. They didn't do any of that sort of stuff in this afternoon against the Hornets. And I don't want to hear excuses about, well, the Celtics aren't good on afternoon games. Everybody has to play afternoon games. You don't get a pass because you don't play well. It clearly didn't affect the Hornets. Um, so just it's disappointing, and this is the Celtics team that we've seen for far more this season than we've seen the good version that won 6 games in a row. This is the team that we've seen far more often rear its ugly head, and this is the team that I've been saying all year long is going to lose in the first round, and right now they're out of the 4 or 5 spot that they absolutely need to be in order to compete to try to get out of the first round. Because right now, if you're that 6th spot, you're looking at playing Milwaukee or potentially Philadelphia, and I think there's a very strong chance that either of those teams would sweep you. And so you're looking at a first round sweep right now, which is just embarrassing for where this team has been and what the expectations were coming into the year. To have that as the potential end of your season, it's just it's unacceptable, and it speaks to all the things that we were talking about when this team wasn't playing particularly well. The coach not being able to reach the team not showing a lot of effort, the construction of the team being poor, the lack of depth, and you saw all that today. So let's get into the box score because really, again, it's such a bad game that there's like not a whole lot to just harp on about. Plus, I got my second COVID vaccine yesterday, and while I'm happy about that, I am feeling a little bit run down. Not really bad, but a little tired. So I'm going to probably be like the Celtics, and I've not put my full energy or effort into this one, but I'm willing to admit when I sort of half-ass it. So into the box score we go. Starters tonight were Jason Tatum, Tristan Thompson, Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown. Hopefully, Robert Williams comes back within a game or so. The Celtics are obviously much more limited without him, and he's not doing himself any favors with the amount of time that he misses during the regular season because he's really somebody that needs to grow and develop more and get chemistry with these guys. And so, it's not his fault. It's just it sucks that he has not been able to be available for large portions of the season. But so yeah, Tatum, Thompson, Walker, Smart, Brown were your starters. Tatum played 32 minutes. He was okay tonight. Not great, but not terrible. 19 points, 11 rebounds. His rebounding's been so much better. Really, really improved rebounding. 2 assists, 6 of 16 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3. He did have 5 turnovers again, though. The turnovers are out of control with Jason Tatum. Just they're getting way too high. He should not be putting up these 5 and 6 turnover games on a regular basis. He needs to be cutting that number down. to 0 to 2 is acceptable for a player of his caliber. Tristan Thompson, very poor game from his part, and no reason for it, considering he was the tallest guy on the floor a lot of the time. 5 points in 26 minutes, only 4 rebounds, and that number sticks out like a sore thumb because, again, the height differential, you would think he'd be able to get more than 4 boards. So a very poor game for him tonight. And by the way, everybody on the Celtics, with the exception of somehow Evan Fournier, who I thought was terrible tonight, had a minus, plus minus, because they were outscored almost the whole game. Thompson, 26 minutes. So not good there. Kemba Walker was pretty good in his 29 minutes, 7 of 17 from the floor, 3 of 9 from three, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 20 points. But in his return to Charlotte, didn't make a lick of difference. Marcus Smart was good. I had him as my best Celtic tonight. But good is relative in this game. 17 minutes. 5 of 11 from the floor. Sorry, 17 points, 5 of 11 from the floor, 30 minutes, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He had a little run of about a minute and a half where he scored 10 straight points, and it looked like the Celtics were getting back into this game, only to fall back into, going back down, including the last play of the third quarter was just any momentum the Celtics had died on that play. Smart tried to draw a foul with about 5 seconds left. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Still, I wouldn't put the onus on the referee in that case. Just make sure you get a good shot. Don't try to draw a foul there at the 3-point line. That's subjective. And you'd rather just live with getting a good, clean shot there instead of trying to just, say, hey, ref, bail me out here. And then the Hornets, hit a buzzer beater to be what could have been a 6-point swing, and it was just a complete momentum killer. Jaylen Brown, 35 minutes tonight, 20 points for him. 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. The shooting was terrible for Jaylen tonight. 2 of 7 from the floor, 8 of from 3, 8 of 22 from the floor. So the 20 points are nice, but the shooting was terrible. Your starters again scored most of your points, obviously, and we'll go to the bench right now. Jabari Parker, 12 minutes, 4 points. Nothing really there. Grant Williams, I thought, played his best game in a while. I like to rag on Grant Williams, but he wasn't the problem tonight. He played well. 19 minutes, 3 of 4 shooting. Those were all 3-pointers. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 points. He hustled a lot. So this was a good game from Grant Williams. Aaron Nesmith, 5 points in 8 minutes. That's fine. 1 of 2 from 3, 1 of 3 from the floor. Luke Cornett, garbage time, not worth talking about. Peyton Pritchard struggled tonight, 16 minutes, 0 of 3 from the floor, 0 of 2 from 3 for 2 points. Carson Edwards, Tremont Waters, Romeo Langford, all garbage time for those guys, not worth talking about. Evan Fournier, 20 minutes, 0 of 3 from the floor, no points. This is probably an effect from COVID, but, outside of those 2 games that Fournier had that were really good, he's been pretty miserable as a member of the Celtics, and not worth eating into that big trade exemption you had. So hopefully he gets better and starts getting his feet under him, because otherwise it's going to go down as one of the worst Celtics additions just because he hasn't provided anything. So all of that adds up to a miserable loss, a miserable day for the Celtics, and putting them one step closer to that place that they desperately want to avoid, which is playing one of those top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference in the first round. We want to avoid Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia like the plague. And right now the Celtics are in position to play Milwaukee as it stands today. This was a win the Celtics really needed, just because it could have created some distance between them and Charlotte, who's right on their heels. And again, the Knicks are hot, and the Hawks are on the tiebreaker against you. So you have to jump 2 teams. Can't afford to lose to a team that you're better than. Celtics will have another crack at Charlotte, though, again on Wednesday. On Tuesday, they have Oklahoma City. So those look like 2 games that the Celtics really need to and should win based off of talent alone. Then you play San Antonio, another team you should probably beat. But I will be back on Tuesday for the Oklahoma City game. That's a 7 o'clock start in Oklahoma City. Oh, no, sorry, in Boston, rather. It's in Boston. And we'll see if the Celtics can turn it around. But they play like they did tonight. They are not going to turn it around. I'll be back then. Thank you, everybody, for watching, whether you're watching now or after. Remember to comment. I'll always comment back. subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. And try to enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If the Celtics try to ruin it, but there's still plenty of hours left to enjoy it. Enjoy the Oscars tonight. I know I'll be watching, and I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday. See you, everybody.